Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here. Welcome back to Automation Empires. Today I've got some evil plans in order to bring some iron over to our main factory and start producing more and more money and more research points. Good to see you all back. Thank you very much for leaving your suggestions and such in our previous episodes. Today I'm going to focus on building something that we had built before, which is this elaborate container network in order to transfer actually to one large crate system and then combine everything together. So we're making tons of money now. You can see we got well over $100,000 with things being nicely put into storage. We got crates and stuff coming through. Looks like iron, or rather coal, is being made as quickly as possible, but iron is going to be next, especially so we can finish some other higher level research. So if you guys would like to see more of this game, make sure you do me a favor, click or tap that like button, let me know you'd like to see more, and thanks to everybody for showing their support. We're going to try to create one central network here today, and I'm going to use all of my skills, which is one skill, which is doing things mediocre at best, but I'm having a ton of fun in this game, and if you'd like to get this game, again, remember it is on Steam. Some were asking, so remember you can always get this one on Steam when it's fully released to the public. I'm going to try to make like a large conveyor belt here for everything to be stored and see how it kind of works out for us. I'm going to try to make one large little pipe here that connects everything to a little... let's see, a little crate maker and see what we can do. So we're going to try to put everything into crates and then bring it over here so it can be picked up by drones and brought into these things, the refiners. So we'll see exactly how that works. Alright, let's go ahead and try to build ourselves a crate maker, which should be around here somewhere. I forget exactly what it looks like. There it is. And we're going to try to make a crate maker right here so we can connect everything up. So hopefully it works the way I would like. It looks like it won't. But that's okay. We can try to fix this as best we can. We might have to make multiple crate sections, but that'll be just fine. So let's go ahead and try to get started here by connecting these up. Actually, let's try this. Let's build a crate maker here. And then what I could try to do is what we've tried to do in the past, which is the nightmarish process of connecting all this stuff up via the piping system. So we'll see if we can get it going. Looks like we need to move over by one. Oh, everything that's off by one is always a nightmare. But let's get the pipe system connected here first. And again, these storage bins are just so we can make things into angles. If we don't have these little containers here, then we can't make turns in our system, and that just makes our system no bueno, as they would say in France, especially if they speak Spanish. Let's go ahead and try to do that. Looks like everything here is connected, right? I hope that's connected. We'll need to get that connected to power. So it looks like mine number 1 is connected. Mine number 2 is connected. Now number 3 is going to be a little bit of a pain, but worst case scenario, I can try to make like a secondary flow system for that or something. In fact, I've got an idea. If we put this one in front of this one, let's try this. If I put another crate maker here, this game has been an ongoing like puzzle, by the way, of limitations of the options that we're given, things to research with. It seems like its purpose is to make life a living hell for the time being, which is totally fine by me, in order to figure out the solutions to things. Looks like we might be able to build a 1 and 2. Nope, that's a little too wide. Damn. What I wanted to do is make a long conveyor here and have the crane system pass over the top in order to bring stuff from here, then bring it to there, so that way iron ore can be dropped off there and brought into the factory from the drones. The purpose of the drones is to really just go through the doors. There's not really too many systems that go through, so the game forces us to not like fully switch over to a track or conveyor system, but to still value the drones. I guess they have, they're protected by a union or something like that, who knows. So let's see, we want the crane to pick up from here. And I'll have to figure out a way to see if I can get this one connected to the other one. We'll take this one offline for now, and we'll see if we can fiddle with that later. But 2 at least is a good start. So we'll need to power this as well. So let's make sure we've got a power line going over to that. And it's a little tricky to work these in around these pipes, but that should work just fine. So we should see iron ore coming out now. Excellent. So now iron ore is being delivered here. And if we turn off drone priority, it makes it so that way only the crane can pick things up. So we don't want the drones coming over here. We only want this to be for the claw train. So let's go ahead and put that in. So we'll put our track over the top. Let's make sure it's directly over the top of that. Good. And we'll bring our train in over here to deliver it over on this side. And we'll just have it all drop off and swing in on the other side. So we'll have our track come in here. And it can only drop it off in one area. So we'll let it drop off here. And we might be able to shorten our crane a little bit. Let's see. That should be perfect right over the top. And we'll make it swing back this way. Alright, let's see how this works. Alright, so this is as close as we can build these things. Go a little further. Alright, so our system's looking pretty good so far. This has been a really interesting learning experience in a whole new game that I've not really, don't think I've really played too much of these types of games. Usually it goes right into trains, but this is a unique one for conveyor belt systems, that's for certain. Now here, I'm going to correct our turns a little bit, and we should be able to have a good claw system delivering iron ore here so it can be processed for research and also for more money. The research is going to be important as well because we need to deliver ore once it's been processed. So in order for us to research such things as our combiner, we then need to start making iron ore into regular iron and then feeding it into our system over here for research. As you can see, we got plenty of research points, but there's still other requirements, such as making sure that we've got all of our systems functional for delivery. Oh, also I need... Oh, there is a way to make this go the other way, too. I forgot. There we go. That's exactly how I want it. Perfect. Now, let's go into the claw system. It can only drop off one place, but can pick up at multiple. So we'll have it delivered there. And we'll have it pick up anywhere along this line. So this conveyor belt over there should be full in moments. Alright, so we should see iron ore picked up. We'll have the drones make that a high priority for pickup. And it looks like they're feeding only coal into the system so far. But we'll make these ones here iron ore only. Actually, we'll do both. There we go. And we'll also allow this system to pick it up too. Perfect. Alright, it looks like the crane system is working, so we're having iron ore delivered over here. Let's make sure it's efficient. Perfect. Alright, so it looks like it'll probably produce more. If I make that line a little longer, or if I get the other one connected to it, it can make more crates. Let's see how quickly it's making these. 1 per 3 seconds. Okay, so we've got both funneling into this one, but I could possibly make another one too. Funneling these into each is slowing down production, I think, but maybe we don't have enough capacity to handle that, so we'll have to balance it. Also, we'll need to allow the trucks to start having iron ore as well. Excellent. Now the big question is, how do we get a container that needs to be brought back into the system? So it looks like some of these guys... Now these guys are holding finished iron. Now the biggest question is, how do I get iron back into the system? Now that it's been delivered into the... now that iron ore has now been refined into standard iron, these guys now need to deliver it somewhere so it can be fed back into our system over here somewhere. So the only way I know how to do that is I think we can have a minecart going through the factory, and we can have a little thing like one of these transfer tubes dump into it. But how do we get the crate to become a tube? That's what we're making a square peg fit into a round hole, I guess, or vice versa. Whatever way we're trying to do it, it's certainly not conventional. I might need to research more technology to do it. Let's see if the game says anything in the tips section. How do we create... Is there something about converting... Oh, here we are. It's possible to transfer resources between a setup, conveyor, and a mine track via this simple setup. Oh, there we go. So we can have the... Well, how the hell does that work? I don't think we can tell the drones to... So what they're saying is that we can build a step conveyor and then have something transferred to a minecart. But, unfortunately, we can't have this do that. So these two have to solely be... Okay. So we need to take these two then and turn them into conveyor-only setups. Because... Okay. Alright, now I understand. So no more coal here. It's going to have to be iron ore only, which is going to slow down our coal production capacity, but we will fix this now. Alright, so now I see how things need to be. So we can build 2 step conveyors here. We can have this one turn right as it comes out. Perfect. Looks like it can. Hopefully. It did show an arrow. Like that, yeah. So that's what we want. So this is going to have to go to the back of the factory. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a nightmare. So what I'm going to do now is try to create a container that sucks up the ore. So the way to convert it from ore back into the piping system, or rather from a crate to a pipe, is going to be... Oh, God. Oh, man. All right. Now, how did they do that? Let's take a look at that. Oh, minecart is what we need. So we need another door here, then. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Now that we know this, it would be easier to build the factory ahead of time, but now we got to build within the constraints of the system. So let's see if we can build a minecart through here. So that's the only thing that can go through a factory. Although I can't see. There we go. Alright, so we can go right out this door. And we can build a research facility out here. But we need... Actually, the system will work like a shuttle. So we can have it go one way and then the other. So let's have it build right outside. If we press T, we can make the tighter turn. There we go. So we'll just have it do that. So we don't need to have it come from out here. We can just have the shuttle system inside the factory itself. Unfortunately, I can't sell the door, but that's all right. More room for the drones. So then we need to have a... Oh, this is going to be an interesting setup. A small container. And we need space for it to operate, too. So this is a nightmare. Oh, man. All right, we need a lot more space to do this. Let's try... We could only have one cart doing it if we do it this way. But maybe that's better than 0. And we want it to pick up. Okay. So let's see if this first conveyor works. Maybe we'll have the other one go to the trucks and one for specifically research. Given our limitations, let's do this. Given our limitations of factory space, because, you know, it's my first time playing, we're going to have to now work within the level of the noob. There we go. Alright, so let's see if this works. Well, it's on pause now. Let's put down a minecart. Then we're going to have a station at the end to pick that up. There we go. Ah, so that's the way to do that. We've got it, boys. Now, unfortunately, our research center has to be within that, so it's got to be within this area. So we might have to build another... Actually, we can build it over here because... Oh, that's going to block our way. Uh-oh. Okay, we just need a little bit more cash. Uh-oh, what do we do with the crate when it's done? Uh-oh. Empty crates go. There should be an option to destroy crates when they reach the end. But I can't select this conveyor for some reason. There's no way to select that. There should be a way to tell it to destroy it. Now we're in hurting for big money now. All right. Well, we'll need to make a little bit more cash as we're constantly redesigning our setups and systems. Luckily, iron ore is still being created. Oh, wait a minute. We are out of power, I bet. That's the issue. Nope, 75 out of 80. Why are we not creating any more iron ore here? It's producing it very slowly. Why? Oh, wait. Limited to producing 30 crates. Oh, I see. The problem is there's a hang-up in the system. Now that'll probably trigger it to do it. Active crates, 30 out of 30. Oh boy. I'll stop that for the time being. Back at the source, we still need 10,000 in order to build a few other things here, so we're going to need to get that money back as we're still learning the process. crates there. And it doesn't look like any of the trucks are being delivered any of the finished iron. Oh, it's because I selected the wrong one. There we are. Alright, we should be making even more money now. We want finished iron to be loaded onto the trucks. So that should take away some of the capacity. It's hard for me to tell which one is which, but let's see. If we see regular iron, there it goes. Yep, iron's coming over. Okay, that'll increase our money immensely. Still a learning process here, but we've certainly got I love our research centers. Let's claim some more of that wonderful research. All that juicy, tasty, delicious research just waiting for us. Almost 2 million research. Look at that. We're at 1703. We're getting there. That's beautiful. We can continue to research stuff, such as including more claws per track, but I think we're going to leave that for now until we start getting on some of this other stuff, because a lot of this still requires like 150,000, or in this case, 5 million in order to build the cargo rocket. So it's going to take a minute. So it looks like, and we also need to fill more coal into this system too, but don't worry, once we reach out, this can be our main base, and we can start bringing in coal from all over, especially once we've got more money going. And look at this, now we're starting to export iron ore, or rather just regular iron, now that it's been refined. So we still have a backup, though, with all these trucks being a problem. What we really need is either the auto truck loader, or we need the giant crane system, the auto truck loader or the train system. Those are the two. Yeah, so we need the crane to load, or this. So either way, it's going to take some time. All right, looks like we got enough now to build our custom research center. Oh, well, we did. Money is a real big issue now that we're paying for all these incomplete systems, and we're suffering from growing pains from learning. But again, you guys have been giving some wonderful tips and tricks, and I've been trying to incorporate those as much as I can, though some of them don't work. So for those of you trying to cheer on and give good advice and information, thank you very much. It's been a fantastic little learning experience to try to figure out how to do all this, and it's been frustrating to see all of these little containers and such have to be used, but our little research center has been really good. Okay, let's see if we can put this over, can I fit this in like maybe over here and do a container there? We might need 2 more containers to do this, so let's try to do that, and then we'll connect these quickly. This should give us enough room to work around. If we have 10,000, oh, actually we have to build there. So if we get $10,000, we can build our custom research center, and this should be able to take any sort of material. So right now this is going to gobble up iron ore, but then eventually can research anything, whatever we put into the crane system, because I can have the bots deliver it to, I can have the bots deliver it over here, and I can put an unloading station there instead, which will be useful. All right, let's get this last burner in function again. Need to get a little bit more cash. Let's finish the research center first. We're at 7,000. Look at these trucks rolling out. We are making good cash. And it's nice to see a little bit of iron ore sprinkled in there, too. We need the train, though, because trucks kind of get all congested. Look at that. There's a backup of trucks. Ah, wonderful. We can finally build this thing. Oh, no, oh, our power bill is so immense. Oh, man. Every time I go to build something, we owe. All right, let's see. Just a little bit more. There goes another truck. No power bill. Come on, no power bill. Give me the money. We certainly could also get rid of some of our research centers too, since a lot of them aren't working, but I have a big dream of really making this stuff work more effectively. Okay, so the minecart is now connected to that. Now we just need to connect the iron ore to it. But we need to figure out how to get rid of that minecart that's coming out of there. Coal. Let's do iron only. And that's one of the first things that we need to research in order to complete the next step. So we need to research both iron and then coal. So we'll do iron first. So this will be our research incinerator. A bit of a bottleneck, but really not too bad since we don't have to research too much. So let's see how this thing works. Alright, it's not picking up any of the iron needed. have it set to any. Oh, this is the wrong way, that's why. Sometimes hard to see when you get in the thick of things. There we go. So that should allow us to build this correctly. So this should flow out to here. Ah, but what do we do with those crates? That's the next question. How do we get rid of crates? Oh, it's not picking up either. Transfer tube on. Transfer tube on. The flow looks correct. And we need to be researching with iron. I also need a way to get rid of that container, otherwise the whole system gets screwed up. There is also a way to set them to demolish a container when they reach the end. Let's see, let me check these real quick. Destroy all crates, on or off. So there's a way to destroy crates when they reach the end, so maybe I need to use that instead. So we have to use the more expensive one just to get the other option? Let's try a step conveyor again. So I can't click on that, there's no options for that. So I guess we have to do this system then. Sorry, my bad. All those little drones flying around, it's hard to avoid them. So I think we need to do a loading conveyor. But this can't turn. So we have to do it like this. But that doesn't interact. Well, how do I get rid of the crate? I don't know. Alright, let's check our instructions again. Let's see. So it looks like they're using step containers, but where is that container going afterwards? Where does the container go after? So we can do a step container here, but we need to bring the system around somehow. So this will work. But I need a place for all the empty containers to go. If I put it back into the system, it's just going to get screwed. Is not taking the materials either. Although, to be fair, we've only got one there. The fact that we can't deliver to a research center without a pipe is a little frustrating. At least we got all of our research centers pumping away. Most of them, anyway. It certainly worked in the beginning to help us to unlock some more research. Alright, so here they come with all the wonderful iron ore. Then it's being smelted into iron. But where do these go? How do I get rid of empty crates at the end? Is there a crate disposal unit? Receives crates as input from a load station. What if I put one here? Get rid of crates. There's got to be a way to empty the crates. Alright, so two problems. One, the well, also this isn't following the system either. Oh my goodness. Wow. Alright, let's see. Transfer clock. Transfers crate from one step conveyor to another. Must be built in a factory, so we can't put these outside or anything. Is there a way I can I make a conveyor above another one? No. So I can't like have this pick it up and bring it to a higher level. And if I put these on an infinite loop, eventually this will stop providing iron ore because the crate level is at 29 out of 30. The only way we get the crates back is if they go back to the trucks. Jeez. Brain melting, must think harder. Alright, let's see. What else can we do for getting... How can I get rid of crates? Let's see in the options. Let's see. Containers can be useful for storing resources. Minecarts can hold up to 4 crates worth of resources. Make sure to use a research base. Okay. An onload station can be set up to destroy crates. Here we go. Which will automatically destroy any crates which reach the end. Well, here's the problem for that, though. Is that if I build that, the only way to transfer that is the transfer claw will only transfer to another step. I can't transfer it to one of these. What? You can? No way. No, it won't work. So the only way it'll work is I have to get a drone to bring this over here. But how do I get it to... How do I get it to put crates here? Wait a minute. Hold on. We want a delivery one. Let's see if this works. I wish I could just do it like this. I'm trying to exclude the crates from doing that. Is there a way to just destroy crates? How do I get it to pick up boxes? Yeah, so the question is, when these can only be moved on these conveyors, unless I have to change my whole setup. I don't have the space to do that. That's why I built this. How do I get drones to bring over just the crates? Let's see, grain, ethanol, ash. So I can't tell a drone to just bring over a crate. Drones can be set to drop off crates here, but they're not. What if I have a claw system do it? But then the question is, why not use the transfer claw? Alright, let's try this. Drop off. And pick up. It doesn't interact with the... Are you kidding me? I mean, how am I supposed to get the empty ones here? It seems the only possible way to do this is to have a onload... It seems the only way I can do this is to build a load or onload station, and those can only be built straight, which totally biffs my factory design. My goodness. I know, by the way, if you're having any sort of pain or whatnot, if it's painful to watch, make sure you consult a physician. I'm in pain too. Truly. Let's try to build this here. Drop off crates. Go. Yep. Oh my, that's so dumb. So the crane system can only interact with load and onload stations. Onload stations can only be built straight. So me trying to be space efficient by having things loop back is a no-go. And drones can't pick up crates. Empty crates. So the only way the system is going to work. And then the other question is, why is the minecart not picking stuff up? This is a transfer tube. And it's working as shown, right? Let's see. Transfer claws can be useful for connecting or splitting up pathways. The downward nozzle of a transfer tube can only connect to a step conveyor or mine track. So we do have it working on a step conveyor is here, that is correct. And a mine cart is here, that seems to be correct. What if I build the path a little longer? Is there some sort of issue with the load and unload process? Let's try this. this is what you got to do in modern times. It is a good idea to try to trial and error everything. If you don't know something, sometimes you just got to try and learn by error. So if anybody's mad or frustrated, I would say our goal is to try to find the solution. Now, wait a minute. I want this to dump in there. So we want it putting materials in. So that is indeed the correct flow. So this should load up with iron ore. Good. And the minecart is not taking it. I cannot click on the cart. I cannot tell it to pull different materials. And I cannot deliver the finished iron ore. Interesting. Minecarts move faster on highway tracks. Minecart tracks are great. Press tab, avoid sending drones. Fully utilizing current ones. Relay system is shown. Looks like they're showing a truck depot loading center, but this isn't. That's actually misleading too, because you need to research that. You can't just build that. We did attempt that earlier. I don't know if I did it correctly. Maybe. My goodness. Well, this is all part of the learning process. You must crawl before you can walk, and you must walk before you can run. So it looks like we've done a lot of things correctly, but now I'm starting to hit walls just because I'm misunderstanding how things are working. Let's check our system again. It should be pulling from the minecart and then putting everything into here. So that does look to be correct. And it's a proven method because it worked over here for all of our research centers. Our research centers are receiving the materials through the piping system too. That's why there's research points there, so that's correct. And this claw system is bringing iron ore here. Iron ore is being brought into the factory from the drones. But we need a method in order to get rid of those things. I wonder if there'll be an update to get rid of crates like that. Otherwise, we have to have the drones do it then. So there's no reason to have a. I guess we have to have drones do it. All right. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to have drones take the small thing for now. But they don't interact with transfer tubes. And I can't build it like this. You can't have a step conveyor converted to an onload conveyor at the end. It doesn't work like that. Have a step conveyor like that. I don't think that'll actually work. Let's try. Nope. And the transfer train can't do that. We'll have to have the claw system do it then. Alright, new plan. Wait a minute, that wouldn't work either. If this can only accept from a step conveyor, then there's no way to get rid of the boxes, because I can't have the transfer claw. I need to be able to transfer from an onload or load to a step conveyor, because this is the only way those containers can accept that. What am I missing? How am I missing? I'm not figuring this correctly. Here they show using a step conveyor to load crates, but where are those crates going? Here they're showing a go-between. The only way this is going to work is if I make an endless warehouse for crates to be stored via a step conveyor. Well, I guess the only other option is to forget the whole minecart system and just make a step conveyor system that goes out there and then comes back on a continuous loop. Alright, let's try that. Alright, maybe my system was doomed to fail at the start. If so, we'll try to load it here instead. I do want a little extra storage just in case. Okay, let's try this again. Let's attempt number 2 now. Let's try to have a step conveyor go through the system. So that's the only way that pipe can be loaded. I know I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. I wish it would jump out at me, but at the current moment, I'm just not able to see what the solution is. Oh, these can't be built outside of factories, can they? However, in their image, they show it inside of a factory, transferring it to a minecart. So the only way okay. So only minecarts can go outside. Wow. I am completely, like, not sure what to do. The silly rules of, like, only a step conveyor can be inside, but an on-load conveyor and load conveyor can't turn, and the minecart wasn't filling up. I'm not exactly sure. It looks like I blew up another drone on accident. Oops. There we go. If I build a drone system in order to carry it out here, this can't load from a drone. And these things only make crates, so how the... I don't know. Folks, I am not entirely sure, so if you have the solution, let me know. I at least completed a system to bring iron ore into the factory, and we can start making even more money now by delivering it to the trucks, proven there with the delivery on board. But how do we get stuff into the research center? I urgently and eagerly await all of you Raptorians giving me some help here. I greatly appreciate everyone's help, so thank you very much for giving me your tips and tricks. If you have a solution, I'm not sure how to get things outside. Obviously, the research center has to be built outside, so there must be a way to transfer from inside to outside. So I await, and I'm sure we're all in suspense to find next episode to see if we can figure it out. Thank you, everybody, for clicking and tapping that like button, and if you're frustrated or angry, please just explain it very simply down below with 1, 2, 3. I'd like to know. If you know, I want to know too. So thank you, everybody, for your help. Thanks for your positivity and kindness down below in the comment section, and I will see you all next time. I can't wait to get to the next step of our factory. We'll build that combiner, and then we'll be in big business with our big factory here. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.